and welcome to BehrChat. If you're new to the channel, my name is James and I am the maker of BehrChat and also Behr Explores. Please feel free to subscribe and hit that little bell icon next to it so that you can keep updated and informed of when next podcast but also next vlog will be entering the world of YouTube. Anyway, I hope everyone had a really good weekend and I hope everyone is well. I definitely had a really good weekend. I got tickets for a German techno band called Scooter. It's been on my bucket list and also my mother's bucket list to go and see them live. Let alone it'll be her first ever rave at all. So I got the tickets back in 2019, and with the pandemic and COVID that had ruined everybody in the world's life, we had to be very patient with waiting until when we were able to see Scooter. In my mind, there was a couple of moments when I did think, is it going to be going on? Is it not? If it was, a bonus. If not, okay, I'd cry quite a lot. But yeah, it came to the date of the 30th of April, which was this weekend just gone. And basically, long story short, it was epic. It just was the highlight of the weekend when myself and my mother went up on the train to Manchester, and we stayed over in the hotel nearby the venue. All I can say is great planning for location. So one thing which I would recommend is that when we got to Manchester, we noticed that they had a family weekend ticket, which would cost you £9.50, but that would cover you from Friday to the last service on Sunday. So if there was yourself and another adult with you, £9.50 over 3 days worth of staying in Manchester of transport, that's quite a good deal in my opinion. The family ticket does include, so it's up to two adults plus 3 children under up to 15 years old. So it's worth getting if you're going to be staying over the night in Manchester and want to do 2 good full days worth of exploring. And also it's a bargain if you're going up on Friday daytime and you're leaving on Sunday. Now you're probably all wondering why I have called this podcast Is the Bears World? Well, one thing which happened in Manchester, as well as myself and my mother enjoying a good rave in the O2 Victoria Warehouse with Scooter, was there was the very successful Great British Bear Bash, which is basically a gay bear event that happens in Manchester over a few days that include a weekend, and it's to basically bring everyone together, have a good social, and also have some fun times and make memories. Though one thing which I did find quite interesting was before they introduced the International Bear Brotherhood flag that was created in 1995. The bear culture actually was more known around the mid 1980s, where gay men in the San Francisco Bay Area, who actually did call themselves bears, because one thing which defines them as a bear is usually someone who has facial hair, bit on the chunky side, like the food, like me, and usually quite masculine as well. But in some respects, it just depends on the person's characteristics, because there's certain characteristics where they're not a bear or a cub, but they could be an otter or a wolf, which are different terminologies when it comes to the bear community. The flag that is shown in the corner is actually the International Bear Brotherhood flag that was created by a guy called Craig Behrs in 1995. The Bear Pride flag that we know of today was an idea from the USA, as many gay symbols. It symbolises the different colours of bear furs. The bear paw on the left upper corner makes additionally clear for whom the friendship and affection was targeting and including. Also in Europe, the bear pride flag prevails more and more, as I've seen it used, apart from recently through the Bear Bash in Manchester. There is a lot of use with the flag when it comes to gay prides, gay parades, and also other bear events around the United Kingdom and around the world. One thing I do get asked a lot, particularly from friends and family, is when it comes to terminology or slang terms relating to the bear community itself. So I would class myself as a cub, for example, who is a younger looking version of a bear, sometimes but not always with a smaller frame. I will say I'm not really small framed, with me being about 6'1.5". I will say the half makes everything count. And then you've got other slang terminology. So you have daddy bear. You've got polar bear. You've got panda. You've got trans bear, and also you've got wolf and otter. Now, when it comes to wolf and otter, yes, okay, they don't sound quite beary, but the otter is considered a subspecies of bear. By some, an otter is a hairy, slim, or small-framed man, whereas a wolf is a gay man with a body and facial hair, but also very lean, very muscular, and very athletic built. But also there's the lesbian bear known as the Ursula. And with panda is basically the bear of Asian descent. Yeah. Even though that I've been in the bear community from when I actually came out, the story goes with me coming out was I'm a parent, and I'll never forget it. It was a nice afternoon / day. But pre to that, members of the family were putting little hints in conversation, which I just thought that they were just being them. And then on the Saturday, I think it was a Saturday that I did it. Sat down. So I sat down with my parents outside, and I basically said that I wanted to say something, and my parents were quite intrigued, to say the least. And I came out as saying that I was gay to them. At this point in time, I was thinking, do I, don't I? Because many years ago, I did have quite a strong Christian faith. It's still there. However, it's not as strong as it is years ago. I was expecting the worst. Like with anyone who has been in the situation of trying to come out to your family, friends, possibly work colleagues, though I know some people who keep that away from their work colleagues for some reason. Obviously, it's very understandable, and I respect when people say that it's a issue that doesn't include work colleagues. Whereas when I came out, the words of "we knew already" from the parents was both thrilling, but also, why the hell did you manage to put me through all this? And in some respects, I can actually hear their reasonings right now. But yes, you can imagine the amount of people who I know and became friends with who came out to their family and, as expected, heard the worst stories possible, where people were made homeless, were disowned, was basically told that they were no longer their son or daughter. And for me, okay, I understand that parents may, and also people around, might not be as educated as you would thought, or they might be very traditional when it comes to being able to express yourself to others and possibly the world. So one thing I would like, if I may, if you have any stories, obviously I will say only do it if you feel very comfortable with it, to put them in the comments box, or maybe if you haven't come out yet, I'd love to hear from you all, as I can possibly relate to people who had a lot of support when they came out rather than the opposite. It'll be quite nice to sort of reach out and say, yes, okay, you might have had an absolute rubbish coming out. However, you've got people around you who actually do love you. Whether they are a good friend, they are possibly your neighbour, or even possibly a brother or sister who actually doesn't mind if you like guys or like girls or whatever. So and one of the t-shirts that I actually designed actually says the slogan "Inclusion means everyone," which in some respects I think is true. Also, no matter what your background is, or who you are, there will be someone who will have a guiding hand for you. Obviously, as you can imagine, particularly this day in the world, there is exceptions. But joking aside, people need to know that they are loved, and also consequences if things happen, would be treated either seriously or quite lightly. So, but back to sort of the topic of the episode. One thing which I did research, and I sort of knew this anyway, but didn't know it fully. So I will say the search engine that I used was very, very interesting with the research that I found. So one thing I do know is that the bear community have like different contests. So like Daddy Bear of the Year, Cub of the Year, Grizzly Bear of the Year titles. In the UK, there's like Bryson Bear. I'm sure there's like UK Bear or England, or was it English Bear, Scottish Bear, Welsh Bear, Northern Ireland Irish Bear. So, and they usually do like a big contest once a year, and basically people vote on whom they want their city bear of the year, sort of thing. I will say the turnout for that is pretty high. There are going to be some guys who be like, yeah, I mean, I'm doing it because for the joy of it. Whereas some guys are very, very committed to winning. But yeah, I find people who actually just want to do it for fun and actually shows that they are enjoying themselves whilst they're basically trying to woo and get your votes for the title. I find they actually do win it, and unless if there has been a glitch, and unfortunately with both the gay community and the bear community, when it comes to contests, there was a story about a guy who was quite overweight. However, he worked the audience, he got the points, he actually won it. But when it came to the photo, the person who actually had the photo taken was actually the person who was second place, who was quite slender, quite the terminology of twink, and yeah, from what I was reading, had a very bad attitude problem, and to me, when contests like that happen, I feel like it's taking the fun out of the contest rather than the contest taking out the fun. In my own opinion. Like I said previously, with the Great British Bear Bash that's happened in Manchester over this weekend just gone, there are a variety of international bear events that happen throughout the whole year. So, like for example, in Gran Canaria, they have the Bear Carnival. Or if you didn't want to do Gran Canaria, there's um, Dallas Bear Roundup. There's Lisbon Bear Pride. There's Mad Bear, that's based in Madrid. Um, there's also in Manchester Pre-Hibernation, which is sort of like their November before Christmas and the New Year starts. It's sort of like a big get together, a bit like the Bear Bash, but with it being quite cold in the UK, particularly in the north part of England. They get everyone together again for a good social event, and yeah, it's worth going to. So I will say Manchester Behrs, who are incredible with organising the Great British Bear Bash. I've been to a couple of the Bear Bashers myself, and I've felt very welcome at them. Plus, it's nice people who you probably have spoken to, and who I've definitely spoken to on Bear social media platforms. So, like Mid Bear, who are just amazing. They are a very welcoming group. They saved me through lockdown of boredom, particularly with the amount of Zoom meetings and Zoom cafe coffee mornings and afternoons that we used to do. But also the Bears, Cubs and Chasers page as well. The guys there are brilliant too. Again, very friendly. One thing they did recommend me to do before I went to the Bear Bash was actually to get to know some people in the page, just so that if you do go either solo or with another person, at least that when you go to the said event, there are going to be people who you can sort of talk to, see, mingle, probably have a drink or two, or probably about 15 from how I remember it. I will say one of the criteria is that the Bears must be able to know how to drink, particularly lagers, ciders, beers, possibly the spirits, but it's definitely the sort of place where a man would would go and enjoy and talk everything manly. So, however, usually as well, there's sort of your hotspots of places such as Sitges, Gran Canaria. So Sitges is part of Spain, and where it's very bear friendly and very gay friendly as well. They usually do like a very big variety of events, usually around April, May time, possibly different parts of the year. And yeah, I will say thank you so much for listening to me waffle. I've sort of forgotten how long this podcast is going to be. So if in doubt, there will be other podcasts which will be coming your way. Next time, I don't know what the topic will be, but I'm sure it'll be as interesting and hopefully as interesting as this one. So I hope everyone has a lovely week of what is left of it, and I will hopefully speak to you all later. Take care, everyone. Bye.